Welcome back. Supreme Court decisions impact the entire nation. So, should we be able to watch the Supreme Court in action on TV? Late-night talk show host Stephen Colbert pressed Justice Stephen Breyer on this issue last night. Ken Jost covers the court for the Jost on Justice blog and joins us now. Welcome back. Good to have you.
Glad to be with you.
This is an important issue. It's one that I'm passionate about. I'm a little mystified that we know so little about this very important part of our democracy. On Colbert last night, there was a chance for folks to hear the arguments that exist on both sides, allowing cameras in or maintaining the status quo.
That's right. So Justice Stephen Breyer apparently is the first Supreme Court justice to appear on a late-night talk show. And the publisher of his new book, he's out promoting this new book, The Court and the World. And the publisher told Breyer, this is a serious news show, so go ahead and talk on it, okay? So he was on the air for about 7 minutes, and Colbert began by saying, you're really classing up this joint. And then Colbert launched immediately into the question, why can't we watch you folks, you guys and gals, on TV? And Justice Breyer acknowledged that, yes, you can watch other branches of government, but not us. And then he said, kind of very judiciously, well, we don't know what the reaction would be. And then he added, on the other hand, it would be a fascinating educational project, as though this was a civics classroom as opposed to, you know, a branch of government rendering important decisions that affect all of us. And I guess, you know, you could say that TV seems like eventually it will have to be led into the Supreme Court courtroom, but not in the immediate future.
He gave the impression that the public takeaway would be that oral argument is more important than it is.
That's right. That is one of the points he made, and of course that's partly true. The hour-long argument in an important case like well, the Obamacare case was more than an hour, but in any event, you know, it's this long, whereas the briefs are this long. Yeah. And of course the arguments are only the prelude to the justices going back into the conference room and voting, or maybe arguing to some extent at least, and then drafting opinions, et cetera, and that process takes months, and that's the process that actually results in the decisions that come out, the important ones, in late June.
It feels unusual to have a sitting justice write a book and then appear on the talk show circuit. What does Stephen Breyer talk about in his new book?
Well, the book is a book-length exposition of his view that it is okay, not only desirable, but inevitable, that the Supreme Court acknowledge foreign and international law in its decisions. And this has gone on for a long time, he says, since John Marshall. And Justice Byron White wrote a couple of death penalty decisions back in the 1970s.
And this drives some people crazy.
This drives some people crazy. It didn't really occasion much debate back in the day, but when foreign law was cited in striking down the anti-sodomy laws, in striking down the death penalty for juvenile offenders, political conservatives, legal conservatives, kind of, well, it touched a nerve among them. And Scalia and Chief Justice Roberts both say it's not right. Foreign law has no application to what the U.S. Constitution means today, and Justice Breyer and the majority of the court say that it can in some instances.
Is it a readable book for folks who are not lawyers or steeped in all this stuff?
Well, yes. I mean, it's got footnotes. It's got case names. There are some parts that are a little treacherous. But he discusses very important areas, including the Guantanamo disputes, for instance. And so I think many readers will be able to find it accessible. In any event, he's been on the talk show. He's about to do a book tour. He's starting in New York today and Washington later, so he'll be around.
It can be a sensitive topic, but there's been some discussion of whether the older justices will stay on or whether they will resign and give the sitting president, because we don't know what the future will bring, whether there will be an attempt or whatever to give this president an opportunity to put someone on the court who could be there for a long time. So I guess with Justice Breyer, this is the subject of some sort of whispering, and with Ruth Bader Ginsburg, maybe because of her health.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg is 82 and has had health problems. Breyer is 77 and has had no serious health problems other than the bicycle accidents that he's prone to get into. And he's been asked about the retirement, not on Colbert, but for instance, National Law Journal asked, and Breyer essentially demurs. He said, it's a personal decision. I'll know when I should retire, and there was nothing in his answer that suggested he was thinking of it right now.
Kenneth Jost writes the Jost on Justice blog, and he's the man we turn to when the issues involve the United States Supreme Court. Always great having you here. Thanks very much for your time. The Stephen Breyer's book is called The Court and the World, American Law and the New Global Realities. Thanks very much for your time. We'll see you again soon. We'll step aside. We are back, though, with a program note right after this.